Alright, lately I have been utilizing a physical, small little lock-by notebook, also one from OrbitKey. Anyways, it doesn't matter from which brand, but it matters that it is a tiny notebook that basically has a similar size of your phone, and I carry it with me wherever I go to have it basically as a brain dump, small little journal, to-dos for work. And I want to kind of share my 2 cents because I feel like many videos show you how to journal, how to do bullet journaling, that they carry a notebook. But I do feel like no one really talks about that when you get your notebook at first, it's kind of difficult to start and to actually either journal. I feel like journaling is the most difficult, and next one is to utilize it properly in a way that it actually becomes something that not only that you use, but also that you use instead of grabbing to your phone. Because that is, to me at least, one of the things that I would like to practice as much as possible, not grabbing the phone as much. Because the argument always is, oh, okay, you can just use the Note app on your phone, or if it's a camera, oh, you can just use your camera on your phone, or when it's a game, oh, you don't need that device, you can use your phone to game. Totally neglecting that all of these notifications and the temptation of going into a different task or app like Instagram or TikTok is a huge risk in completely derailing your train of thought and whatever you want/need to do. And I feel like with a single purpose item, be it a camera, be it a gaming device, be it taking notes, it is so much more effective on focusing your attention on this one device. So getting to this notebook, and you can already see I have a lot of notes. I think the most important part here is to kind of acknowledge that note-taking should be as simple as possible. Just like anything else that I mentioned, be it saving money, working out, creating YouTube videos, it's all about lowering the barrier of entry and recognizing that making it easy helps you to just start and not overcomplicating things. So this means that when you use this as a brain dump, it's not about long sentences. It's not about cohesive structures. It's more about, okay, I have this thing in my mind. Let's just dump it out, because our mind is very good at creating thoughts, but not necessarily keeping them, especially those fleeting thoughts. So it's really good of a habit to just take out that notebook, take out the pen, ideally both of them are together, and just write down what's currently in your head, without the restrictions and the limitations of, okay, I need to make this cohesive. I do a lot of grammatical errors, and sometimes I read a sentence and I'm like, what the hell what did I want to kind of do here? But it's not about that. It's just kind of like getting stuff out, and that only happens occasionally. And I'm like, what the sentence is supposed to be like, and I don't know, but then I'm like, oh, okay, there's this keyword. Oh, okay, now I kind of remember, and it kind of comes back to you. So that is honestly, from my personal perspective, something that I rarely hear, that the importance of cohesiveness, neatness, you should completely throw that out of the window. If you just want to start, it is supposed to be messy. It is supposed to be something that you fill up and then not throw away, but keep, and then just don't think about it. It's not, and we get to that in a second, it's not something that you keep. This is your brain dump. This is for quick to-dos and thoughts that you want to memorize for later. And again, it's not about full sentences, and I think that makes everything so much easier. I do a lot in list style. I think about, okay, this could be something, write a headline, then list, check, blah, 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 check, blah, 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 words, half sentences, sometimes full sentences, but I don't worry too much about neatness, cohesiveness. It's just there to get out first. And then the next thing is, as I said, this is basically, as the name somewhat implies, a brain dump for stuff to get out. And something that we need to acknowledge is temporarily. If there's something in there that is important, and if you also utilize a digital to-do list like I do, it is important to do a regular, somewhat debrief. What I do is, once at the end of the week, or if I know, okay, this is a shopping list, I need to kind of have that digitally on my phone as well. At night, I transfer some of the things. At the end of the week, I do a debrief, and I'm just looking inside, okay, is this something that is worth keeping? Then I take a picture in my note-taking app of this site, and then I copy some of the items into text, but I just know, okay, I have a picture of that in my digital note-taking app, and everything that is important, so I can find it more easily with the search functionality, because I just switched to a new note-taking app away from Evernote because it's getting too expensive, but it has great OCR recognition. So previously, before switching, I was actually able to take pictures and then use OCR. Doesn't work now anymore, unfortunately, but if there's anything important in this debrief time, I write down stuff that is important to me. Same thing is, so we talked about brain dump, we talked about to do, we talked about having a debrief in a regular periodical time so that you can kind of copy things over into the digital world, because the digital world is there to keep. This is just for quick jotting down stuff, to do, and the same thing holds true also. This is basically my work and my private notes, and private/YouTube notes. So front to back is basically private, personal to-dos, shopping list, YouTube things, and then when I flip it over and go from back to the middle or to front, that is all my work to do. And so that way I can keep this very neat and tidily, and I don't kind of run into a problem. For example, I could just say, okay, let's start from front to back, that's personal, and starting from the middle at page 50, I start going with work notes. I noticed previously that sometimes I run faster, running full with work notes, for example, and then suddenly I don't have enough pages. So that this way I can kind of ensure that personal notes and work note both start from the beginning, no matter which side of the book, and then they meet in the middle. Or if I need more pages, then it goes further, and I don't get into issues that I somehow run out of pages for one area of this notebook before the other. So that was really important for me to keep it neatly. I also added an index for all of the notes that I feel important. So I have page numbers front to back and an index in the beginning. So that's the things that I do to keep it neatly. But again, for me to summarize how to start, it is very important to acknowledge this can be messy. This can be disjointed. This can be non-cohesive. This does not need to be full sentences. It's just there to quickly jot down whatever is in your mind, because no matter how old you are, I think when I was younger, I thought I can memorize everything, and I still can do, but I'm not that, in air quotes, arrogant that much anymore to acknowledge that my brain has so many things going on that it is very easy to have these small little thoughts be just gone. So whenever I have something on my mind, I just jot it down. Again, not neatly, not cohesive, just a couple of words so I can remember it. And if it's important, take a photo, put it digitally, because that's to keep forever. And that's basically how I start. And I feel very, I do feel it's important to acknowledge journaling should be messy, or taking notes, not should, but can be messy. And if you journal, for example, that's also something I find it very difficult to journal daily. And at some point, I kind of force myself and make it almost a chore, a task to journal, and then it becomes tedious. But if you kind of acknowledge, okay, this doesn't have to be neat, this doesn't have to be daily, this maybe you also add a couple of questions like, how do you feel, what happened today, how memorable is, just to start you off. But I think it's very important to, again, not pressure yourself, but also more importantly, lower the barrier of entry by not needing it to be neatly, not needing it to be daily. Having maybe a couple of questions daily that kind of start you off in this journaling progress. But again, I do like when it's messy. I do like when it's all over the place. It feels lived and it feels like a breathing little thing because it's not perfect like on the computer. So yeah, that are my thoughts about physical note-taking, journaling, and taking this thing with you all of the time. So yeah, what are your thoughts about this? Let me know in the comment section below. Do you carry a notebook? Let me know as well. And maybe check out my previous video about note-taking up here. YouTube thinks they like the video on here. And don't forget to subscribe by clicking the button up here. That way we see each other in the next video. Thank you very much.